A former retail pricing analyst revealed something that transformed my shopping habits permanently. There exist 25 products where competing stores genuinely cannot match Aldi's profit margins. It's financially impossible. The product that stunned me most, you'd never consider purchasing it there. You're familiar with that premium olive oil resting on supermarket shelves for $30. The bottle featuring the Italian banner and some elderly gentleman's portrait on it, right? Simply Nature's $7 bottle defeats it reliably. UC Davis conducted anonymous taste evaluations. Culinary specialists positioned this 1-liter container among the top 5 greatest value olive oils across America. And here's the surprise. When researchers revealed numerous extra virgin oils as diluted counterfeits, Simply Nature successfully completed the legitimacy examinations. The oil originates from various Mediterranean territories, third-party confirmed, no questionable practices. That dark container isn't merely for appearance either. It prevents light deterioration, maintaining your oil fresher extended periods than those transparent bottles that essentially sunbathe on retail shelves. California Olive Ranch demands $28 for the identical volume. You're spending beyond twice the amount for what precisely? But olive oil represents merely the start. Hold on until you observe what Aldi accomplishes with something you likely discard every month: batteries, the quiet budget destroyer concealed in obvious view. At pharmacies, you're spending 75 cents per Energizer AA, occasionally more. Aldi, identical exact alkaline cells, zero imitation garbage. Here's what bothers me. A 24-pack at Target costs you $18 to $22. Aldi sells the matching product for $9.99. That's not a promotion, that's simply their pricing approach. And these batteries remain content for 10 years on a storage area. 10 years. Your controller expires at 11 p.m. through a film. Retrieve one from the reserve. Blood pressure device alerting. Managed. The genuine surprise is mini marts. Purchasing batteries at a fuel station is essentially a neglected to prepare ahead penalty. You're spending 40% additional because you didn't accumulate supplies. My grandfather labeled this careless spending, and he wasn't incorrect. But batteries aren't the exclusive thing exhausting your finances needlessly. Elevation protein bars are those nutrition bars that essentially boast on the package front egg proteins, nuts, dried fruit, that's everything. Zero strange chemicals you cannot articulate. Here's where Aldi transforms everything. A solitary protein bar at a fuel station, $3. At Aldi, you're spending approximately $1.25 each. That's under half the amount. The 10-pack incorporates flavors like chocolate, coconut, and peanut, so you won't become tired consuming the identical thing continually, and truthfully, these taste considerably superior than those cardboard consistency wellness bars from the 90s. Each bar contains 12 grams of protein with 0 additional sugar. Contrast that to granola bars that are essentially candy with superior promotion. I maintain a container in my workspace compartment. Surpasses approaching the vending apparatus at 3 p.m. when appetite arrives, but protein bars represent merely the start. Hold on until you observe what Aldi accomplishes. For parents with small children, 22 cents per diaper, that's what you're spending at Aldi. Meanwhile, Target and supermarkets demand 35 to 40 cents for the matching Little Journey brand. Doesn't sound substantial, correct? Well, here's the calculation that'll make your finances suffer. The typical infant processes 2,500 diapers during year 1 exclusively. At Aldi costs, that's $550. At standard retail costs, nearly $1,000 vanished, simply for something that becomes instantly destroyed. The 96-count container persists approximately 2 to 3 weeks for newborns. That signifies reduced midnight emergency trips to CVS, where diapers cost approximately the identical as a steak meal. And here's something remarkable. Aldi permits you to exchange opened diaper containers. Your infant sized upward quicker than anticipated. Return them. Zero other significant retailers accomplish that. Now, discussing sweet reductions that'll make your mornings superior. Genuine maple syrup at Aldi is nearly unlawful pricing, 48 cents per ounce. 48. The premium material at Whole Foods operates over 1.25 per ounce for the identical grade. Here's what most individuals don't comprehend. That maple seasoned syrup in your storage area, it's essentially corn syrup wearing a disguise. Examine the components occasionally. Genuine maple syrup possesses one component, maple syrup. That's everything. And the wellness perspective truly matters here. Genuine maple holds antioxidants and minerals like zinc and manganese. The counterfeit material, simply sugar claiming to be something superior. This dark amber classification pours dense and abundant, ideal for pancakes, certainly, but additionally oatmeal, baked legumes, even glazes for salmon. Preserve it properly, and it persists for years. Zero urgency to utilize it. Several months previously, I possessed zero concept what a health ring even represented until my fiancé obtained me one, and I must state, I'm astonished this isn't a broadly recognized and utilized product. It monitors my stress measurements, and what I discovered is that certain supplements caused my stress evaluation to increase, while others truly assisted reducing it. I modified several things based on that, and truthfully I feel 10 years younger. My spouse primarily utilizes it to monitor her menstrual patterns, and she is fixated with her sleep quality evaluation. I observed they are presently operating a restricted 69% reduction, but I don't understand how extended it will persist. It's presently only $60, and it's apparent this one is the greatest value for your investment, with other health rings priced around $350 with reduced functions. They succeeded to price it this reduced because they eliminated the intermediary like Amazon, Walmart, etc., who inflate the cost and acquire a substantial margin, concluding with the customer spending 3 to 5 times additional. If you are on television, you can examine it yourself by pausing the video and capturing the QR code with your phone camera, or selecting the first link in the description of this video. Now, discussing products where Aldi crushes the opposition on cleaning strength. Now let's discuss stain combat. Tandle Oxygen Cleaner arrives in a 3.5-pound container at Aldi for under $8. That's approximately 85 loads of laundry strength resting under your basin. A standard 3-pound container at Walmart operates approximately $10. Execute the calculation. Aldi's cost per pound is genuinely reduced. Here's what makes this material special. The oxygen-derived formula attacks wine stains, grass marks, even those yellowed shirt collars you've been concealing. Zero bleach destruction, zero destroyed colors. It activates in water, executes its function, then decomposes into harmless soda ash. Billy Mays made this product recognized, yelling on infomercials at 2 in the morning. But truthfully, Aldi's cost would have destroyed his entire presentation. Difficult to become enthusiastic about reductions when everyone currently understands the arrangement. One portion thrown in with standard laundry can restore gray whites back to existence. Discussing kitchen fundamentals that provide serious worth. Genuine Parmesan cheese, not that powdery material in the green container that tastes like sawdust. And disappointment, specially selected, ages their portions over 24 months. That's 2 complete years of flavor advancement before it arrives your kitchen. The identical portion at premium cheese retailers, $28 to $35. Aldi sells it for $7.99. Here's what most individuals overlook. Pre-shredded Parmesan holds anti-caking supplements, cellulose, essentially wood fiber, maintains the shreds from clustering. A solid portion, pure cheese, nothing additional. Retrieve a microplane grater and you possess fresh Parmesan in moments. The distinction in flavor is astonishing, and don't discard that exterior. Insert it into broths, stews, or pasta gravies while they cook. It dissolves and incorporates this profound, flavorful umami impact that makes individuals request what your secret component is. Now, discussing kitchen fundamentals that vanish quickly. Paper towels might appear uninteresting until you exhaust supplies mid-accident. Boulder triple rolls are essentially advantage codes. Each one matches 3 standard rolls. So, that 6-pack, that's 18 rolls, worth resting in your storage. Here's what bothers me. Supermarkets demand approximately $2 additional per matching roll for the precise identical product. Identical blue wrapping, identical quicker picker upper motto, distinct cost label. The capture and secure consistency truly accomplishes something. It absorbs 50% additional liquid than generic brands per sheet. I evaluated this with a knocked over coffee container, 1 Boulder sheet completed, and those select size separations. Advantage transformer, small accident, small portion, zero additional tearing off a complete sheet to clean up 3 drops of water. 1 Aldi visit addresses 4 to 6 months of paper towel requirements. Americans consume through 80 rolls per household yearly, so bulk purchasing here simply makes logic. Discussing things that vanish quickly, hold on until you observe what's following. Let's discuss coffee establishment calculation for a moment. A solitary canned draft latte at your neighborhood cafe operates approximately $3.50 to $4. That's before gratuity and before the 15 minutes you consumed in queue behind someone requesting a half oat milk whatever. Aldi's 4-pack reduces each container to $1.50. Here's what makes these distinct from standard canned coffee. They utilize cold compressed espresso combined with frothed milk that truly tastes like a genuine latte, not that bitter, watery letdown from vending apparatus. Each contains 10 grams of protein and 150 calories, way more proportion than those sugar explosion frappuccino beverages. Maintain them shelf steady in your workspace compartment, your vehicle, the garage refrigerator for early mornings. Zero barista necessary. Zero criticism for still wearing sleeping trousers at 8 a.m., but discussing daily necessities that accumulate quickly. Tandle laundry pods, the sacred vessel of laundry ease. At 18 cents per load, you're spending nearly half what Target demands for smaller containers. That's not an arrangement. That's robbery. Legitimate robbery. But still, here's what I appreciate about these small detergent explosives. They unite soap, stain eliminator, and whitener into one compressible packet. Zero measuring, zero pouring blue substance down the edge of a giant container. Simply throw and secure the cover. Consumer Reports positions them among the top 3 detergents for genuine cleaning strength. Not promotion exaggeration, genuine dirt elimination. 42 pods persists. My family approximately 3 months. 3 months without considering laundry soap. That's beautiful. And the concentrated composition, reduced plastic refuse than those substantial liquid containers that occupy half your laundry space. But discussing things that vanish quickly, hold on until you observe what's following on this countdown. Almond butter at the supermarket seems like a premium penalty. $7, $8 for a tiny container that scarcely persists a week. If you're distributing it on toast continually, Simply Nature almond butter at Aldi, one 16-ounce container for under $6. That's approximately $6 per container. My neighborhood. Whole Foods demands twice that for the identical quality. Here's what matters. Zero hydrogenated oils, zero additional sugar, zero strange stabilizers, simply almonds, executing what almonds execute greatest. You'll observe the oil divides at the summit. Don't alarm, that's truly evidence. Nothing synthetic is maintaining it combined. Fast mix, excellent as fresh. I utilize this material in smoothies, on apple portions, directly off the utensil at midnight. Zero criticism here. The protein and beneficial fats maintain you satisfied, extended than that sugary granola bar ever could. Discussing maintaining you advancing, your toothpaste circumstance might be costing you beyond you comprehend. Here's the thing about toothpaste. You constantly exhaust supplies at the most terrible possible moment. Late Sunday evening, you're cleaning with a compressed tube, compressing it like you're attempting to obtain the final portion of ketchup. Then Monday morning arrives, and you're at CVS spending $7 for a solitary tube. That's essentially a theft in broad daylight. Aldi's 3-pack of Aquafresh runs approximately $4. That's $1.33 per tube. Identical whitening composition, identical minty freshness, simply without the pharmacy increase. That makes zero rational logic. Each tube persists 2 to 3 months if you're cleaning twice daily, like your dentist maintains reminding you. So, this container addresses nearly a year, one acquisition, completed, and here's what dentists truly state. Consistency matters beyond brand. Possessing toothpaste available signifies you'll truly utilize it. Discussing things you utilize daily, coconut oil might astonish you. Coconut oil utilized to be the antagonist. Physicians stated it would obstruct your arteries and destroy your existence. Now it's in everything from smoothies to skin treatment routines. Amusing how that operates. Simply Nature. Organic variation operates approximately 24 cents per ounce at Aldi. Whole Foods over 50 cents for the identical material. That's beyond twice the amount for matching oil. Here's what makes this one special. Cold compressed and unprocessed signifies zero chemicals. Contacted it through processing, you're obtaining pure coconut. Conclusion, and the application's endless. Cook eggs in it. Apply it on dry elbows. Deep treat your hair. My spouse utilizes it for everything except the vehicle, and I'm truthfully not certain she hasn't attempted that. Additionally, the 30-ounce container persists most households 4 to 8 months. solid when chilled, liquid when heated, both entirely normal, discussing kitchen necessities that persist eternally. Aluminum foil merits some consideration. The 75 square foot roll. Permit that absorb for a moment, that's approximately matching to 2 standard containers from your supermarket, except those 2 containers would cost you $18 to $20, Aldi under $5. But here's what genuinely matters. This isn't that fragile material that separates the instant you attempt wrapping a turkey portion. Heavy-duty thickness signifies it truly endures contact with genuine food. At typical household utilization, 1 roll persists approximately 6 months. 6 months, you'll forget you even purchased it, and that cutting border on Aldi's container, it truly operates. Revolutionary concept, evidently. Here's a strange one for your following dinner gathering. Aluminum foil was created in 1910 and initially cost beyond gold by weight. Now you're purchasing it in quantity at 7 cents per foot, discussing kitchen fundamentals that appear uninteresting, but rescue serious funds. Here's something most individuals disregard. Organic eggs aren't simply about premium labels. Those brilliant orange yolks, that's not food coloring. It's the outcome of hens truly consuming grass, insects, and existing like chickens should. A dozen organic eggs at Whole Foods operates $6 to $8. Aldi's dozen arrives in at approximately 42 cents per egg. That's nearly half the cost for the identical certification. And here's a fact that might astonish you. The typical American consumes 279 eggs per year. That's numerous omelets. At those quantities, the reductions accumulate quickly. Now, certain folks concern eggs spoil rapidly. They don't. Correctly refrigerated eggs persist 3 to 5 weeks past the container date. My grandmother maintained eggs extended than that and existed to 93. Simply stating, discussing things that persist, the following product remains fresh, even extended. Nobody desires to prepare chicken from beginning on a busy Tuesday. That's where these beneficial items arrive. 12 ounces of completely prepared chicken pieces for under $4. Execute the calculation, and you're spending approximately $5.33 per pound. The delicatessen counter, they desire $6 or $7 for the identical ease. That's highway theft with a grin. Here's the thing most individuals overlook. These freeze wonderfully for up to 6 months. So when meal arrangements collapse and you're observing into a vacant refrigerator, you possess protein prepared in minutes. Portion it for greens, insert it on a sandwich, warm it with certain rice and vegetables. My spouse labels this our careless meal protection. She's not incorrect. The consistency remains uniform. Additionally, 0 strange rubbery portions or dry areas, but protein isn't the exclusive thing. Deserving accumulating. From Aldi's supplement passage, vitamin D insufficiency influences 42% of American adults. That's nearly half the nation walking around exhausted, painful, and questioning why their immune system can't capture a pause. Here's where Aldi becomes pharmacy's most terrible nightmare. Simply right, D3 at 2000 IU per soft gel costs under 3 cents each. The identical bottle at CVS, $12 to $18 for half the amount. That's highway theft with fluorescent illumination. The soft gel configuration matters beyond most individuals comprehend. Vitamin D is fat dissolvable, signifying your system requires oil to absorb it correctly. Tablets simply don't provide the identical method, and with 200 soft gels per bottle, you're addressed for over 6 months. 0 monthly pharmacy visits, 0 forgetting to replenish. My physician recommended this precise portion after a blood evaluation revealed I was operating on vacant. Turns out resting indoors. Composing scripts doesn't calculate as sun contact. Discussing things that make mornings superior. Loaven fresh baguettes might be the most underestimated bread arrangement in the entire establishment. 2 Artisan baguettes for $2, that's $1 each. Walk into any respectable bakery, and you're spending $3.50 to $4 for a solitary baguette. That's truthfully no superior. Here's what makes these special. Firm exterior, on the outside. Tender and spacious interior. The variety of bread that truly crunches when you portion it. 0 preservatives either, which sounds like a disadvantage until you comprehend that's why it tastes like genuine bakery bread instead of supermarket cardboard. The freezer technique, advantage transformer, portion them before freezing, then extract portions as required. They remain excellent for 3 months, ideal for spontaneous meal gatherings or Tuesday evening garlic bread desires. My neighbor labels these his secret weapon for hosting. Guests assume he visited some premium bakery. Discussing premium. Hold on until you receive information about this Irish butter, grass-nourished butter. Sounds premium until you comprehend it's simply butter from cows that truly consume grass. Revolutionary concept. Correct. Countryside creamery. European arrives from Irish cows grazing outdoors 312 days per year. That's not promotion exaggeration. It's why the butter appears nearly orange, contrasted to pale American sticks. Here's what matters in your kitchen. The butter fat content achieves 82% versus 80% in standard butter. 2% distinction sounds tiny, but when you're creating pie exterior or croissants, that gap establishes flakier layers every solitary occasion. 2 bars at your neighborhood supermarket operates $9 to $11. Aldi sells the identical 2 bars for approximately $4. Professional bakers won't contact conventional butter for puff pastry. They understand grass-nourished fat performs distinctly at cold temperatures. And discussing medicine compartments, there's one bottle that might be the solitary greatest arrangement Aldi provides on pain relief. Pain relief shouldn't necessitate a second mortgage. That's why Aldi's 200-tablet bottle of ibuprofen makes such logic. Under 2 cents per tablet, CVS demands 15 to 20 cents for the precise identical pill. And affirmative, it's genuine ibuprofen, not a generic imitation concealing behind premium wrapping. Here's something most individuals don't comprehend. Ibuprofen remains productive for 4 to 5 years past its termination date when preserved correctly. Cool, moisture-free location, that's everything. Americans purchase over 30 billion portions of this material every year. 30 billion. That's numerous headaches, painful backs, and I definitely should not have assisted my neighbor relocate his furniture circumstances. The genuine surprise, purchasing ibuprofen at a convenience establishment costs approximately triple what Aldi demands, triple for the identical exact medicine. Now, discussing things that vanish quicker than you'd anticipate, let's discuss something every kitchen requires. Stock is one of those things nobody considers until you're creating soup and comprehend you possess zero, simply nature. Organic chicken stock resolves that difficulty permanently. 2 cartons, 64 ounces of liquid gold resting in your storage area. The calculation, approximately 8 cents per ounce. Swanson and other brands demand twice that at standard supermarkets. Here's what divides acceptable stock from excellent stock. The reduced sodium variation holds simply 70 milligrams per portion. Most competitors contain an over 500. Your cardiologist would truly approve of this acquisition, and these cartons persist 1 to 2 years unopened. Zero urgency to utilize them. My grandmother constantly stated the secret to restaurant quality cooking is superior stock. She was correct. Soups, rice preparations, gravies, they all transform when you're not utilizing watery bargain container broth. Discussing transformations. Hold on until you observe what Aldi accomplishes with toilet paper pricing. Let's discuss bathroom finances for a moment. Each soft and strong roll matches 2 standard rolls. So that 12-pack, you're genuinely obtaining 24 rolls deserving of toilet paper. The calculation operates out to approximately 42 cents per matching roll versus 55 to 65 cents at supermarkets. Here's a quantity that might astonish you. The typical American utilizes 100 rolls of toilet paper yearly. This solitary Aldi pack addresses 2 months for one individual, and willow soft texture reliably positions elevated in consumer comfort evaluations. You're behind Merit's quality, but here's where it becomes absurd. Purchase toilet paper at a convenience establishment through an emergency, and you're spending approximately 250% additional per roll. That's the I didn't prepare ahead penalty, and it stings inferior than inexpensive 1-layer. Affirmative. 12 rolls necessitate storage room, but you understand what additional necessitates room. Your dignity when you're racing to 7-Eleven at midnight. Discussing pantry fundamentals deserving accumulating. Nutoka might be the exclusive spread on earth with a borderline cult following, and truthfully, I comprehend it. One substantial container at Aldi operates approximately $4.99. That's 28 cents per ounce. Supermarkets, you're spending 38 cents or additional for the precise identical Hazelnut excellence. Here's a remarkable fact. Ferrero purchases approximately 25% of the entire planet's hazelnut provision simply to maintain with Nutella production, 25%. That's additional hazelnuts than certain nations even cultivate. Each container contains around 30 portions, so unless you're consuming it by the utensil at midnight, zero criticism. This container persists months, and the storage duration, unopened containers remain excellent for up to 2 years. That's extended than most gymnasium memberships persist. Now, if you're into frozen fruit for those morning smoothies, the following product provides serious worth. Fresh blueberries are essentially small spheres of letdown half the occasion. You obtain them residents, consume 3, and by day 4, they're cultivating fur in your refrigerator. Season's Choice frozen blueberries. They're selected at peak maturity and flash frozen within hours. That secures nutrients that fresh berries commence losing the instant they depart the farm. Here's what astonished me. Studies demonstrate frozen blueberries retain nearly matching antioxidant measurements to fresh ones, occasionally additional because they're not resting on a truck for a week. The calculation is brutal for fresh purchasers. You're spending 45 to 65 cents per ounce for berries that spoil quickly. Aldi's 2-pound container operates approximately 23 cents per ounce and persists a complete year in your freezer. Smoothies, oatmeal, muffins, yogurt parfaits. These things manage them all without the guilt of observing fresh berries decompose. Discussing persisting worth. There's a supplement that's been quietly dominating the wellness passage. Collagen is everywhere now, in your coffee, your smoothies, even your baked preparations. And Simply Nature collagen powder essentially initiated that entire trend. Here's the arrangement. This 10-ounce container contains 10 grams of grass-nourished collagen per portion. Your joints, skin, and hair, all advantage. The identical container at GNC or Whole Foods, $25 to $30. Aldi sells it for $14.99. That's a solid 40 to 50% reductions simply for purchasing where you purchase your toilet paper. Anyway, the greatest portion, it dissolves instantly and tastes like absolutely nothing. Mix it into morning coffee. Combine it into smoothies. Your beverage won't understand the distinction. Each container persists over 2 weeks with daily utilization, around 20 to 25 portions, depending on how generous you distribute. My knees commence thanking me after approximately 6 weeks. Could be placebo, could be collagen. Either method, I'm not terminating.